It's somewhat rare that my family gets sick, so I was definitely taken aback when we all succumbed to a horrible cold last week. When I asked our pediatrician about it, she said that every common virus known to childhood is now having a heyday amidst the reopening of society. And it makes sense, right? Now that we're all hanging out again, those viruses are hanging out right along with us. I'm willing to bet that if you're watching this video, you are in the same boat that we are. So let's navigate these rocky seas together. Here are some tips for shortening tough colds and viruses and getting back to feeling better. First things first, I'm not a doctor and this is not medical advice. These are simply things that we do in our house when a cold comes around, and I have found them super helpful for increasing my kids' comfort levels and decreasing the amount of time that we spend sick in bed. Please talk to your doctor before trying out anything new. Also know that I made an awesome video of cold and flu hacks for parents just a few years ago, but since that time I've expanded my knowledge of natural remedies, so I wanted to make an updated one with a few more tips. If you're roughing it through a cold, be sure to check out that other video as well because it is full of a lot of great info, and I will link it below. Now on to the new tip. First, we're going to kick things off with a few cold basics. There really can't be enough said for keeping your nose and your mouth as clean as possible when you're sick, and that goes for kids as well. Babies are obligate nose breathers, which means they will have the toughest time in dealing with a stuffy nose because it makes it difficult for them to feed. To combat this, you should work to keep your child's nose as clear as you can. Start by using some saline drops. We love these X-Clear brand ones for kids and adults because they are enhanced with xylitol, which is thought to pack a germ-fighting punch. Apply the drops to your child's nose to loosen the mucus, and then use a suction bulb or a nose Frida to remove the gunk. Also, vitamin C, D, and zinc really are cold-fighting powerhouses. Look up an appropriate dose for your sick child and spread it throughout the day so that you can ensure their bodies have it on hand to fight the good fight. I like to buy liquid suspensions of these vitamins and add a bit to my child's drinks so that they go down easy.
I wanted to pause here and also talk about the medical medium C-shock therapy. Say what you will about the medical medium, I started following a lot of his advice this year and I feel like it has taken my health to the next level. So to do this, it's super easy and tasty. You just get about a cup of warm water, and then you add in about 1,000 milligrams of bioavailable vitamin C, the juice from one orange, and then you add in 2 teaspoons of honey. I like to add a little extra because I'm kind of a honey fiend. You stir all this up and you drink it at your leisure, and it tastes kind of like a warm lemonade. But I really feel like this goes above and beyond in helping to shorten the length of our colds.
I also toss in a supplement called quercetin, which is thought to make zinc more effective as well as inhibit viral replications. To wrap up the basics of cold care, make sure that both you and your child are staying mega hydrated while you feel under the weather. Your body uses extra fluids in combating sickness, and it's important to replenish those to keep your immune system functioning optimally. For children who are reluctant to drink, you can try offering some popsicles made from coconut water or even some fresh fruit. You could also cut up some hydrating melon along with offering soups and warm teas. In addition, be sure to run a humidifier to keep the air moist as well. This will all work hand in hand to help alleviate symptoms and get you and your family on the path to healing. Now let's move on to some helpful herbs and natural remedies. I wanted to present you with one of my family's sickness cure-alls. This is Greek mountain tea. It comes from the sideritis plant, also known as the ironwort plant, and it's been used for centuries as a cure for the common cold. Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, even spoke highly of its benefits for the immune and respiratory systems as far back as 460 BC. In our experience, drinking a strong cup or two of mountain tea will quickly speed the recovery of your average cold or flu, often shortening the sickness down to a day or so. Thankfully, you no longer have to climb the rocky mountainsides of Greece to obtain this nourishing elixir. It's now available on Amazon and at most Greek markets. Next on the list of healing teas is an incredible Ayurvedic drink mix that I stumbled upon with this last bout of infection. The recipe goes like this. Fill a saucepan with water. Toss in at least a 2-inch piece of ginger, a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, some crushed black pepper to activate, and a small handful of tulsi tea leaves. Simmer it until the mixture has reduced to about 1/4 of the original liquid. Strain this into a glass and stir in some honey. It's most ideal to sip this slowly while it's still very hot. I found that sipping it in the morning seemed to offer the same effect as taking a decongestant. Something about the anti-inflammatory properties combined with the warmth really helped me to feel like I was moving quickly on the path to recovery, and more importantly, like I could breathe again. For kids, know that not all herbs or essential oils are appropriate. Some stronger essential oils like peppermint and eucalyptus can actually make stuffy noses stuffier and breathing more difficult for very small children. That being said, there are a few essential oils that are safe and can provide comfort and relief when your little one is under the weather. I like to make this homemade chest rub using shea butter and lavender and chamomile oils. It's safe to use throughout the day and night, and it's free of irritants. I'll put the recipe in the description box if you want to give it a try. You can also make some homemade cough drops that are tasty, additive-free, and good for anyone over age 1. Simply mix equal parts honey and coconut oil in a bowl. Add a squeeze of fresh lemon juice and place small drops of this mix on a sheet of parchment paper. Put everything in the freezer to set for at least 20 minutes. These melts can be enjoyed to your heart's content. Coconut oil offers antiviral properties, and honey is extra soothing for coughs and sore throats, so these definitely are great things to have on hand when colds and flus start to rear their heads. So what about some soothing herbal remedies that are safe for little kids? First off, lemon balm. Lemon balm has a long history of use in children, and it works to alleviate the bad moods brought on by sickness, as well as offering a calming effect, which is helpful for getting little kids to rest and relax and when their bodies need to heal. Next up is mullein, which is a potent herb that helps with earache and respiratory issues. There are a lot of great products that contain mullein for kids, and I'll link a few below if that's something that your children deal with. You can buy either of the aforementioned herbs as teas or tinctures, and both are beneficial. Finally, elderberry. Elderberry is a potent immune booster that can help to fend off colds and shorten the length of flus in kids 2 and up. Be sure to read the proper dosage for your product and your child's corresponding age. The last thing I wanted to mention today are some quick tips for manually relieving congestion and improving lymphatic flow. Most of these I got from the book titled No More Antibiotics, which was written by an osteopathic doctor named Dr. Mary Block in the 90s. This book is difficult to find these days, and I have no idea why. I came across it when my son was 6 months old and was battling an antibiotic-resistant ear infection. After 2 rounds of antibiotics, I knew that there had to be a better solution, so I did what any reasonable millennial would do, and I spent hours searching desperately on the internet, and finally I stumbled upon this book. It was a short read, and after implementing these suggestions for a day or so, my son was well on the path to healing. This was truly a life-changing moment for me as a mom, and I hope that I can empower you with some of these tips as well so that you can go forth and help your kids conquer those colds and ear infections without the need for prescription medications. Dr. Block's first bit of advice is not to treat well-tolerated fevers. That means if your child is not super uncomfortable, you should let their fever ride a while instead of immediately treating with Tylenol or other fever reducers. This allows the immune system some time to do its job and slow the growth of pathogens, giving it a leg up in the fight against sickness. In addition, Dr. Block offered some simple osteopathic manipulation techniques to move the lymph along and to promote healing. I felt like this was the magic answer, and I'll try my best to demonstrate some of them for you, along with showing some images from the book itself so you can get a good idea of what to do. The first move, so to say, is called the release of lymphatic ducts, and to do it, you need to lay your child on their back and you should sit up near their head. Find their collarbone and place your fingers gently on the middle of the bone. Allow your fingers to fall off, that's the way she describes it, the collarbone towards the chest. You may feel a small bumpy area here. The bump may be tender, but you can press on it gently while moving your child's arms slowly across their chest to relieve the pressure. Next up is effleurage of the head and neck. This is a favorite around here, and it's very simple to do. With your thumbs flat and pressing on the middle of your child's forehead, gently but firmly press the thumbs outward and then down to the outside of their cheeks. Repeat this a few times. Then, using the same amount of pressure, repeat the move across your child's nose and cheeks. Finally, repeat this on each side of the neck, one side at a time. And with that, I think it's time to wrap up this video. I hope you found these tips helpful, and if you did, please let me know your favorite in the comments below, because I now have comments back on my channel. Don't forget to share this with any other people in your lives that might be struggling with colds or flus. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.